Hi, everybody. Okay, maybe in Zoom it's better. I don't know. And in Google Classroom, it seems to be very pixelated. So I don't know. Maybe it's just the network. So we're going to try this one out. Basically, what we did today in English, I probably will send you another link in case this one turns out better. So in English today, we did a map of mapping a plot. We did write in your opinion or a review on a book. And also we wrote some information about the book, something that kids would have to learn in order if they were doing a full book report. So we did 3 steps like in one today. So basically I'm going to share my screen with you on what kind of projects we looked at today, and then hopefully it will be very easy. Okay, so we look at my screen here and we go to this part here. We go to RAS. Is this RAS? So, no, that says RAS. Okay, I have to open a new window. Okay, so if we go to RAS, okay, and in my lesson plans, what I did is I had them do this one. This week, we only have a couple classes. It's because our students are doing online map testing, which is very much of a challenge as a teacher. But yeah, I think it will get there. At least we're doing it. I guess we can put it that way. Okay, so we read this story called The Giant's Tale, and I've assigned it to all the kids. But just in case you don't want to have it at home and you'd like to listen to it, I decided to read it. It's a really cute story. It really teaches point of view to students because we've all heard this story from someone else's point of view. But it is written by Karen Mockler and illustrated by Robert Squire. Okay, it's a level book for M in RAS. Okay. Okay, so it's A Giant's Tale.
Hello, I'm George the Giant. Morning, noon, and night, I used to eat nothing but sheep. I was sick of sheeps, even in my dreams. One day, out in my yard, I met a funny little man. He was littler than most. I was holding some beans in my hand at the time. I was thinking of starting a vegetable garden.
Those are some fine looking beans, he said.
Thanks, I said.
If you give me those beans, said the man, I will give you a special goose.
What's so special about her?
I asked. Wait and see, said the man. But know this, George, she'll cure you of sheep.
He knew my name. I'd had it with sheep. I traded those beans for the goose and returned to the castle. I set her on the kitchen table. Now, goose, I said, do your stuff.
The goose just looked at me.
Pretty please, I said. Nothing. Razzle dazzle me, I said. I thought about roasting her up for dinner, but during my afternoon nap, she laid 3 golden eggs. I traded those eggs for a wagon load of donuts. No more sheep for me. For months, I ate nothing but donuts. Then one day, coming into the kitchen for lunch, I smelled a weird smell. Stinky, wrong, human. Some giants like the taste of humans. Me, I never tried one. I can never get past that smell. Still, I sang the song of all giants and learned in school to scare humans away. Fear, far, far, I smell the blood of an Englishman. Be alive or be dead. I'll grind his bones to make my bread. I sat down and I ate some donuts and I took my nap so Goose could lay more eggs. Suddenly, I woke to that human smell. I saw a boy grab Goose and tiptoe away. I shouted and chased him. The boy jumped onto a beanstalk I'd never noticed before. He and Goose dropped into a cloud. I was halfway down after them when I heard him shout to his mom for an axe. The beanstalk toppled. I fell from the sky and landed with a crash. Ow, 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 ow. The boy and his mom stepped forward and argued a bit. His mom looked from me to Goose, to the boy, Jack, and back again. I looked at my leg. It was broken. I can fix your leg, Jack's mom said at last, but you'll have to stay here until it heals. Then what? I said. How do I get back to my castle? Jack pulled a bean from his pocket. It looked just like the ones I traded that funny little man. Fine, I grumbled. That first night, they didn't know what to feed me. Anything but sheep, I said, or donuts. Turns out they didn't have sheep, donuts, or much else. So the mom threw a bunch of green beans in a pot. She cooked up the best soup I've ever tasted. For the next 6 weeks, Jack took Goose's eggs to market almost every day. He brought home a bunch of different foods. Jack's mom cooked and cooked. By the time my leg was healed, I had some of the best meals of my life. Now, Goose and I are back at the castle, but Jack's mom is teaching me how to cook. When we visit, Goose always lays them a golden egg. And when we sit down to dinner, we all enjoy a bowl of green bean soup. Yeah. Okay, so we read that story. All right. And what happens? Oh, what happened? Oh, it's here. I was like, what happened to my screen? Is it still sharing, guys? Can you still see? Oh, did I not share it? Aww. Did it not share? It didn't record? Oh, I hope you heard the story at least. I guess I'll have to play it afterwards. Okay, so what I did then is after we read the story, since it is still recording, is I had the kids go to their easel, which is like my best thing in the world that I love to death. I can't get enough of easel for some reason. Okay, and we did our English week 23. May 23 to 27. Okay, so today we understand what a book review is. Remember when we talk about the paragraphs and you told me what we read in 1 or 2 sentences? What I had done in a previous lesson is that children and I were reading sentences and or reading paragraphs, and each group had to tell me in their own words what we had written. So they learned to paraphrase. And I said, when you paraphrase all of those words, maybe you told me in 5 words or 6 words. You're able to tell me and paraphrase and summarize into a smaller thing. Well, doing a book review is similar in that you're summarizing an entire story. So we read the story of A Giant's Tale, and now we'll go through the book review steps. So what we did first is we did our book review, and we
learned what is the title of the book, what's the name of the author, how many pages. Since it's an A to Z book, the title or the book published date was not listed. And the children decided or concluded that it was an adventure or a drama. The plot obviously is the beginning, the middle, and the end, and this is why it's so important that kids know sequencing. So the beginning is the giant is tired of eating sheep and meets a funny little man who trades him beans for his goose. And the giant finds out the goose lays golden eggs and then sells the eggs for donuts and eats tons of donuts. Until one day, a boy runs away from the castle with his goose. The giant follows down the beanstalk and gets hurt. And then the end, the mother of the boy says that she will fix his broken leg, she will teach him how to cook, and they become friends and visit each other often. So that's basically the plot, okay? And then the review is actually the opinion of the child, whether they liked it or not. So writing a book report or writing a book review is only part of the actual report itself. So when we write a review, we have to tell the title, we have to say who made it, who's the author, and what happens. And basically, since there's only a couple lines, that means they must say what they now said in the plot into one tiny couple lines in order to explain what the story is about. So we concurred that a giant finds a new way to eat and he makes friends, okay? And some of the kids told me what they liked about it. Arup, she said, I like the book because it has a happy ending. Fedora likes it because when they all became best friends and no one gets hurt. And Walid, the giant follows the boy and falls down and becomes friends. Okay, and some kids didn't like the book. Ahmed, the giant falls off the beanstalk. He didn't like that. And Rashid, he didn't find interest in the story because I feel the giant should die. That's what he thought. And he's basing that off of Jack and the Beanstalk. So like I said, it's a different perspective. And this can also teach kids points of view. Because if we say that you have the point of view that is Jack and the Beanstalk, Jack usually tells the story, right? Or the narrator. Well, in this perspective, it's the giant telling the story, okay? And so Yazin, he said he didn't like the story when the giant became the boy's friend. And he goes, how is the old woman going to fix a giant's leg? In his mind, he's thinking that there should be an army of hospital workers coming to fix this giant's leg because this giant is so giant. How can an old woman fix a giant's leg? Okay? And would you recommend it to a friend? And maybe depending on the friend. So based on personality or whatever. And I said, why? And they felt that the book was too small for them. That they were older and more mature kids, so they didn't feel like they really liked the book that way. But this was, again, an example on how to do a book review, not necessarily their own choice. So it was my choice, but I thought it was a fun enough book to teach perspective and to teach how to analyze a story and to teach the different parts of a book report so that they could write a book review, understand the plot, and show that they understood the parts of the book. Okay? So basically, after we did that, it's their turn to start the thing. Today, you must go online and read the story, and you may go and work on your reviews. And so it's an easy story. All of the levels should be able to handle it because in RAS, they listen to it first, then they read it, and then they usually answer some comprehension questions. All right, so then they go in and they have to write the title of their book, the author and how many pages, and if they can find the published date, and is it an adventure, comedy, drama, or nonfiction. So they can tell me a little bit about the book that they're reading. Okay, then they go in and talk about the plot, the beginning, the middle, and the end. And they're telling about writing a review. But this is my opinion about the story I read. So for homework, they're doing something I also assigned. But in the future, maybe, now that I've taught them the different steps on how to get to that point, maybe like for a PBL, this is a perfect PBL, have them read a story, any story they pick out to the library, online, wherever they would like to go, and get their storybook. And then it must be at least 15 pages long. I'll have them write their own reviews. A lot of the kids are into like Diary of a Wimpy Kid. So this is perfect example in order to explain or teach them to communicate with others on the story that they've learned about. Okay, so this is English week 30. This was for May 24th. Okay, they will have another English lesson, which I will explain after this lesson, which will be about scanning for information on text. Okay, so that's the end of my my presentation for English. I hope it got some of that recording in. It says it was still recording. I hope you heard the story. If not, I will try to read it again. And I hope you guys have a wonderful afternoon. And if you have any questions for Miss Marissa, please let me know. If you like the content I provided, please subscribe below. I really appreciate it, so I know what kinds of things that you are looking for in your own school, okay, or in your own teaching career. Okay, thank you so much and have a great day. Bye-bye.